We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Greg. This comes from Facebook. Greg is asking, he says, on behalf of a friend. The friend is putting in surround sound setup in his new basement construction, but the aesthetics committee said that the only acceptable speaker placement is all 7 speakers in the ceiling.
All right.
I do not accept this. I gotta believe that we can
maybe do in-wall fronts.
Yeah, maybe just have some little conversations here about in-wall designs. It's a basement. It's new.
Because if the speakers are in the wall and they're painted to match the same color as the wall, I mean, you're barely going to see that.
Not going to be bad at all. Look at those Kef speakers. They're pretty. Like the on-wall ones, those are pretty. The little thin silver.
The T-series, the super skinnies.
You know, look at
but
those.
I mean, I'm thinking if the idea is to not see speakers at all,
I agree completely.
Yeah, in walls with paintable grills, which most of them are, that's pretty darn invisible, and it gets you much better placement. Certainly, at least for your front 3. I'm fine with using in ceilings for your surround and surround backs. It's not ideal, but if that's what you got to do, I'm fine with that. But the front 3, if you can make them in wall instead of in ceiling, that'd be the way to go. But let's answer the question as is and move. We've said our piece.
But seriously, show her some pictures of some stuff. All right, the receiver will be a Denon X2300W or X3300W. So first of all, should things be set up and configured as 7.1 or 5.1.2?
How much space do you have behind your seats?
I know. That's exactly what I was going to say. How big is this? How big is this room, dude? Because that's going to answer the question a lot more than what we're going to answer. So if it's a big room, you can do 7.2, not 7.1. But let's go with that. Or if it's a smaller room, you can do 5.1.2. So there you go.
Yeah, if you have 4 feet of space behind your seat, I'd say go for 7.1. If you have less than 4 feet of space behind your seat, I'd say set it up as 5.1.2.
Yeah. So it says the budget for all 7 in-ceiling speakers is $600.
Okay.
So receiver and subwoofer budget are separate, so don't worry about that. Greg was thinking it would be nice to at least use the angled type of in-ceiling speakers for the front 3, but within his budget, he isn't sure what brands and models are the best choice. Given these restrictions, what speakers should we recommend, and would we suggest different models for the front 3 versus the surrounds? Since you're going for inexpensive speakers anyways, because $600 for 7 speakers...
Right.
I mean,
less than $100 a piece, obviously.
That's inexpensive. I would not recommend going with different brands if you can get away with it. You might as well try to match them as best you can.
So he was saying different models, so he could get the angled type for the front 3 and straight down firing for the surrounds and surround backs,
and that would be fine.
That's what I would recommend. Your surround and surround backs, have them be the regular straight downward firing, as well if it's going to be 5.1.2, make the Atmos speakers straight downward firing. They're supposed to be. But yeah, if you must place the front 3 in the ceiling, then absolutely go for the ones that are angled.
Yeah.
And I'm going to suggest some company that we mentioned last week, which is Outdoor Speaker Depot. Their MK series of in-ceiling speakers have a nice aluminum dome tweeter, and they use a Kevlar woofer or aramid fiber. Although, you know what? They say Kevlar, they probably licensed the actual Kevlar brand because they're
I thought that Kevlar didn't want them to do that anymore.
No, as long as you license it, it's fine. They just don't want you calling it the generic.
It doesn't have
the little
TM after it. That should
maybe then they can call it aramid fiber, but same stuff. MK series. So they got the 670s, MK 670s, which are the angled version, and the MK 650s, which are the straight down firing version. And in both cases, they actually mention on their website they recommend a back enclosure that is 3 cubic feet in volume. So I was like, hey, there it is, right there. 3 cubic feet in volume. That's your back enclosure. You can make your own or buy their metal ones that they sell.
The angled ones are out of stock.
Yeah, they're out of stock, but they exist. So there's another boat coming. They'll be there.
Yeah, really. Yeah, no doubt. All right. Yeah, I can get behind that. It really doesn't matter at this price point. to be honest with you, as long as they're not those Mica speakers, which are totally over.
Oh, come on, man. They might be fine. They might be really good. They look, you know
But-
what? The Mica speakers look an awful lot like Bic.
Yeah, they probably are.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
shock me if it's the same OEM.
And then you know what? That doesn't bother me at all either. The only difference when you get into OEM stuff, the only problems that you can run into if you're like, oh, that's just a rebadged whatever, right? That's just a rebadged this. The only problem you get into when you rebadge something is whether or not the quality control is the same on both for both brands. You know, because a lot of times we're just like, we'll take all the ones you don't want, and anything we don't want, we'll sell to these other people. You know what I mean? So you're getting like the ones that weren't up to, let's say, Bic's exacting standards, going to Mica, and the ones that aren't from Mica go to somebody else, and or something like that. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. So, and we don't even know if they're rebadged. So I'm just saying, anything that meets your price point that has fairly decent reviews on whatever website, as long as it's not their own website, I would do a little bit of searching. I would be okay with it. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.